I am so happy to say this. Afternoon, Cliff.
Afternoon, Michael. How are you?
Very well, kid. Nice to see you. Let's kick off with the song.
All nice.
It is. Should we kick off with the song and then have a chat?
Yeah, why not? Do you want me to do one or will you do it?
No, you can do it this time.
Well, on the new album, there's a whole lot of rock and roll, but rock and roll was never it's just an umbrella title for all sorts of music that come within that sort of culture. And we did a song called You Send Me, which Sam Cooke did. It's a ballad, but it's a pop rock ballad.
Can't wait to hear it.
Okay.
Take it away, kid. Yes, I love my job. I've said it often.
You are a wonderful audience.
Thank you. I was swaying away there, Cliff. It's so lovely to have you here, man.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you.
On every level, it really is.
Good.
It's a great album. Just fabulous rock and roll.
It is. I mean, and rock and roll for me, I mean, you've probably got a zone that you like, and certainly rock and roll, because I was kind of pitched up on it. It's like I feel like I'm in a really good zone. I have no difficulty singing these songs. And partly it's because they're on my jukebox anyway, and I've been singing them for years. But there's a great feeling, I think, singing that stuff that really kicked off everything that's happening in the pop scene now. Has to be traced back to that moment when it changed from jazz to this new alien music form.
And you must be so relieved to now be doing it. How long has the album been in the plan? You know.
Oh well, I recorded it last year.
Okay.
We were going to release it last year, actually, but all the pressures I went through, we decided to wait and hang around. So we did. I'm glad we did too. So it's been ready to go for a while, at least a year and a half.
And how did you choose those songs? What was your formula for finding the...
Again, I just sat down and wrote things out, and then I thought, I mentioned my jukebox. I have a jukebox in Portugal,
right?
And it has all this...
a proper...
Oh yeah, you don't have to pay for it, though.
Oh, that's all right.
You've got it set on freedom, and I've got all these records there, and so I went back down there as well, and there was, You Send Me was on there, Sam Cooke, and a whole bunch of others, of a couple of Little Riches. Definitely the Chuck Berry Roll Over Beethoven is on the jukebox. So I kicked off by thinking of stuff that I wanted, went down there, confirmed it all, and Michael, there are hundreds more.
Yeah.
One could do a series as longer than Rod Stewart's.
Yes, he did quite well with his.
Rod did brilliantly. I thought, after his operation on his throat, sometimes, you read about people who have trouble singing after that. I think his voice got better.
Better than ever, yeah.
I thought it was
better. Talking of which, so's yours. You sound on great form vocally.
Oh, do I? Well, I did feel that.
That you say it shouldn't. No, it does. It's got a lovely, rich quality.
Well, coming from you, I take that as a huge compliment. Thank you.
What do I know?
You know
but
a lot, mate.
As a voice gets older and develops, sometimes range disappears, sometimes, pitching, but yours is still bang on there.
Well, it's not completely bang on, There's a note that I find very hard to do live, and that's on We Don't Talk Anymore.
But that's a ridiculous note.
I do, it is.
What's so lovely is to see you back in the chart. But how many albums have you released now?
This was the 102nd album. But I've been trying to explain that that's because, EMI used to release the best of Cliff, silver discs of, golden discs of, live shows of.
Yeah.
But I think probably studio albums, we're in excess of 50 studio albums. And it's really nice. So next June we're on tour, and hopefully the weather will be good.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of open air concerts, aren't you?
Yeah, they're not festivals, but they're open air, and of course it's seated, 100% seated.
Thank you.
Yes.
We like
me and my fans.
You don't want a damp bum, do you?
No, but most of us can't stand that long.
Talking about your fans, they have been they are extraordinary. They're legendary. The support that they give you, particularly, I would imagine, over the last couple of years.
Oh, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's not only just mail. It was on Facebook, and I remember coming down my drive. I didn't leave the farm for quite a while. Actually, I didn't really want to meet up with anybody. I was so embarrassed, and it was really a despairing time. I came out once and I thought, my gates changed colour. I walked down, it was covered in yellow ribbons. And with fabulous messages. No, the fans have been absolutely staunch.
Was there a point though when you thought, do you know what, I don't think I can go back out and do what I do?
Yeah, in
sing.
the depths of it all. I was talking to somebody else saying that I'm not medically depressive.
No.
I know that there is a form of depression that you can't. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain. I don't have that. I have many other imbalances in my brain, but not that one. But I found, like 3, 4, 5 months in, the despair. I didn't sleep for 2 years, really. I maybe got 3 hours a night for 2 years. And even now, the funny thing is, every time I'm invited, you want me on your show. I did Clive Anderson, Crooks Evans, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they actually want me to be on their shows, and it's very therapeutic for me to feel comfortably welcome back.
I've never known quite such a groundswell of support for an artist as I've experienced with this, because it is shocking what happened.
It is really, but there's not many of us that get the thing is about this whole thing is that we have. No system's going to work unless it has a heart at the center of it. And it seems that our legal system, policing and all of that, it doesn't have a heart. Magna Carta, that king went all the way. He said every single one of us in our nation is innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. So we are trying to change something if we can, but not going as far as that, although that's what it should be. We were wondering if MPs would agree to say that the accused shouldn't be named unless the police had enough evidence to charge them and therefore take them to court.
I don't want to focus entirely on this because, and all I can say is I'm thrilled.
Thank you.
I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm thrilled that you're still making
Michael,
fabulous music.
Thrill me.
It really is. You're doing what you should be doing. You're one of the greatest entertainers we've ever had in this country.
Oh, thank you.
You really are. One of the greatest in the world, the other one being Elvis.
Oh, well, Elvis.
And you sing with Elvis.
I do on the album. I got permission by Sony. I mean, my dream, look, I'll go to start. I wanted to do an album with Elvis. Everywhere I've ever been in my life, right through the beginning of my career, right to now, I still meet people who say, oh, I liked you, but my sister loved Elvis.
Yeah.
And it was always Cliff or Elvis. And I'm thinking, it was never Elvis or Ricky Nelson or Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis. It was always Elvis and Cliff. So I had this idea that both Elvis's audience and my audience and me were actually in the process of dying. That's where we all end up. And I thought, would it be fantastic if I could get with Elvis's tracks and release an album that would please both those crowds and maybe have one last big album. And I couldn't get permission to do that, although I did ring Priscilla Presley. I emailed her, actually, I didn't call her. And she said, if it was up to me entirely, I would say yes, because she said, Elvis knew all about you. I can't tell you what that maybe felt like. She said he kept an eye on all his competition.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I never did. But see, I was just thrilled that he considered me competition. They used to say I was the answer to Elvis. Now I say he's not a question. There ain't no answer
Good
to
response,
Elvis.
Yeah. Good response.
He was my inspiration.
And so you have got this one track on the album that you are singing with him.
Yeah, I chose Blue Suede Shoes. It's sort of an iconic song, and people. It's a bit like Rock Around the Clock. They know what you mean when you start playing that kind of music. And as a singer, to me, it was fantastic. First time I'd ever heard of Blue Suede Shoes. Never seen them, never worn them, and I love it.
And do you know what's brilliant? In 2016, both of you have got hit albums.
Yes, of course. He's got a new one with the London Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. I wonder if I should talk to my record company and say, I did one with the London Symphony Orchestra. Imagine, I'll probably have to wait till I've gone. Elvis and I were always in competition. We were always, he and Connie Francis kept me off the number one spot about 5-6 times, and I always released my records at the wrong time.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Curse you, Robbie Williams.
Oh. But we were in competition. There's no doubt about it. We were trying to get to that number one spot, but I feel it's slightly unfair because after he died, he sold more records after he died, and I can't drum up that much competition.
Don't be in too much of a rush for that then, Cliff.
No,
you're doing all right.
I'm not going to be that competitive.
I wouldn't be. We're going to hear the song that started it really for you, aren't we?
Yeah.
A bit of Move It.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cliff, it is a joy to have you with us. Thank you for coming in, mate.
Okay, here it comes. I really wish I hadn't faded it.
Oh, you are the man.
Thank
Sir
you.
Cliff Richard.
Thank you.
Singing a song that's 58 years old.
58 years.
Sounding as fresh as ever.
A daisy.
It's a joy and a privilege to have you here.
Michael, thanks for having me. Thank you.
God bless you.
Cheers.